everyone. In my practice, I have seen huge amount of misconceptions that are coming from parents when it comes to autism. Interestingly, some of these myths that I'm going to talk today are so common, but we just don't address them. The very first myth that I want to take up here is that many parents come and say कि autism मेरी वजह से हुआ ना, मैंने ही कुछ किया है. They feel that autism is a product of poor parenting or something that has gone wrong from their side. I remember a case where the mother came to me crying and she was like that, ma'am, you know what? I did not eat that laddu which my mother-in-law had given as a prasad, and probably that is what caused autism. I had got a viral illness during my pregnancy, and I might have got viral illness during my pregnancy because I had a little bit of cold, and that is why my child is in this shape today. I did not take care of myself. There is so much of blaming that the parents tend to do on themselves, thinking that it is something that they did and that's why their child is in autism. Please remember, everybody, autism is not a product or a sign of poor parenting or something that you might have done. We all know that autism and the causes are not very clear. So many times it happens that you read something up on Google and feel that, okay, this is what I had done, and that's why my child is into this. The problem is that the more you believe on this by reading Google or by reading or by imagining it on your own, you are going to get lost in the vicious cycle of self-blame, guilt, and hopelessness. And that's exactly what we don't need. Okay, so please know that autism is not a sign of poor parenting. It is not on you if your child has got autism. The second common myth is that people come, or rather the parents come and say कि autism cure ho jayega na? Will autism get cured? Remember, autism is not a disease. Okay, it is not a disease. It is a neurodevelopmental issue. Okay, so if somebody says to me that ma'am, will my child needs to get cured of autism, I'm like, you're saying that your child should get cured of being an Indian. No, it's an identity. Being Indian is an identity. Same way, being autistic is somewhere a part and parcel of me or that child. Okay, you cannot treat it or cure autism. Remember that, because it is not a disease, it is just the way the brain of that child is developing. What we are here to do is that we are going to improve its functioning. We are going to help the child to overcome the challenges that are coming because of the difference in the brain development that is happening. Okay, so the very fact that people consider autism is as a disease and then try to find permanent cure for it is something that we need to know that it is not correct. The next most common myth that has been there for a while around is that autism is caused by vaccines. There was a research article published a few years ago, and everybody was panicked with it because it said that autism is caused possibly by MMR vaccine. But after that, let me clarify that a lot of research has been again done on this, and it was seen that it was not a very well verified claim that was made. And that's why we do not link vaccines to be cause of autism. There are parents who have skipped vaccinations of their children because of that fear. And I would say out to them clearly that please go and get the vaccinations done properly. Do not believe on rumors. It is a rumor. You might have people who are fundamentally vaccine denialists coming to you and saying that don't give vaccine, it causes autism. Kindly do not believe on rumors, believe on science. Vaccines have no role when it comes to autism. Then next is that autism is caused by gastrointestinal disturbances, or autism is caused by a certain set of foods that the children eat. Again, this is not a very well proven fact. There are some anecdotes which wherein you have found some cases of in some children who had some gastrointestinal intolerance, that is intolerance to food, and when that food was taken when that food was removed from the diet, the child also showed some improvement in irritability and his meltdowns. But again, this is not something that we want to believe upon. It is a misconception. Let me tell you, all children, even neurotypical, that is our normal children, also have lot of intolerances to foods when they are in their developing years. And any intolerance to food will lead to some amount of irritability, some amount of obstinacy, and some amount of crankiness in the child. So taking away that food usually helps these children only in the gastrointestinal symptoms and the concerned irritability coming out of that. It has no direct role when it comes to even autistic kids. So if you find that your child is intolerant to food because he is having diarrhea or constipation, only then remove that food, but do not remove that food thinking or imagining that some foods cause autism, and if I take that out, my autism will be gone. No, it is not that way. Okay, you might just feel that your child is getting better because the irritability comes down once the stomach is good. That's a general norm for all kids. Okay, it is nothing related to diet or any food. There are some diets that are found to be helpful, such as GFCF diet, gluten-free and casein-free diet in children. But again, that is still under research. That is true for very, very few number of cases. Again, not very clearly proven. Okay. If at all you have queries about the diet part or the food part and its connection with autism, do not start anything on your own. That is by removing some substances from food from your child on your own. Take the help of a professional, take the help of a nutritionist, and only then decide if your child needs to be put on GFCF diet or some of the foods you need to eliminate or no. Why I am saying this is because there are parents who have come to me and they have directly started to remove some of the food items from children's regular diet, the autistic child's diet, such as dairy products they have removed, and the child has landed up into severe malnutrition, that adding on to further problems. So remember, there is no direct connection yet clearly established by research when it comes to food and autism or gastrointestinal disturbances in autism. There are anecdotes. If we want to see if that helps in our children, some kinds of diet help in our children, do not do it on your own. The next myth is that autism means mental retardation, or autism means pagalpan, or autism means manda buddhi. No. Remember, autism is only where a child is having difficulty in social communication and some problems when it comes to sensitivity and behavior. All children who have autism do not have problems in mental functioning, or rather intellectual functioning. Remember that. Every child of autism does not equate to problems in intellectual functioning or low IQ. Some children may have low IQ, some may have normal IQ, that is the intelligence quotient. Some may have absolutely very high IQ where they are geniuses. So you will have so many people that you know around you who might have completed their MBAs and completed their engineering, and they are functioning, or they have already gotten a job on a high post in spite of being autistic. So remember, if your child gets diagnosed with autism, do not get under the pressure that my child will never be able to function independently or earn his own money. That is not a necessary thing that can happen. Okay, because every autistic child is not a mentally retarded or intellectually disabled child too. Please remember that. Then last but not the least, but very, very important, is that specifically in India, there is a belief that children will grow out of any kind of developmental delay. Remember, if your child is having developmental issue, which is of the nature of autism, he is not going to grow out of it on its own. Okay. I have had parents who had come to me when the child has reached 5 years of age, and the mother says कि मैम ये ना 2 साल का हुआ तभी मुझे ऐसे लगने लगा कि ये बिल्कुल भी बात नहीं कर रहा है और तभी मुझे प्रॉब्लम लगा, लेकिन क्या हुआ ना कि हमारे सब रिलेटिव्स ने बोल दिया कि इसके पापा भी लेट टॉक करने लगे थे तो मेरा बच्चा भी बोलने लगेगा, इसलिए मैं नहीं आई. Although I felt that there is something wrong, this mother did not come because there is a general notion in India कि नहीं ठीक है थोड़ा बहुत delay है, there is little bit of delay, the child will overcome it. Okay, remember, children don't just grow out. Yes, there are some children who can start a little late to talk or walk, but if you are having a doubt, please do not delay by considering that ठीक है कुछ नहीं, it will settle on its own. No, please visit a professional immediately if you find that your child is not developing the way most of the children do. Okay, its development is not falling in that range. Similarly, if your child gets the diagnosis of autism, do not again go into a notion that it is just a little delay and my child can still grow out of it. If your child has got the diagnosis of autism spectrum, remember, without a professional help in form of various therapies that the child might require, child won't be able to overcome the developmental deficits that he is going through. Okay, there is no way that the child will develop on his own all the things that he needs to if he is significantly lacking on that on those things because of the autistic problem. So do not be relaxed and just feel that okay, he's just going to be fine. Do take quick help whenever your child is diagnosed with autism. More important myth that is very much there is that autistic children don't feel emotions. Well, autism is inability or challenge in able to express emotion or identify emotion. It is nowhere concerned with not able to feel emotions. Autistic children do feel emotions. They have all the anxieties, angers, worries that we all can experience. Okay. The problem is much more because if they get those emotions, they are not able to express it the right way. And that adds on to their emotional problems. And that is why we have to work on a level where we teach them how to express emotions as well as try to make them understand how to identify emotions. So that will ease out their problems. So remember, don't take any autistic child for granted that he doesn't feel anything just because it looks that it doesn't feel anything. No, they feel very much the same as we all do. So take care of that.